We're
All right,
live.
we're
So
live.
excited.
Welcome, everybody, and welcome, Justin. Very excited to have you on the live stream.
Thank you for having me. I feel like a long time coming. We were talking about this back in like September, and then you got sick,
Yeah.
and I had a kid, and life got in the way. And now we're here.
Now we're here. Well, congratulations on the kid. That is very exciting. Is this your first?
Thank you. Thank you. It's our first. I have a newfound appreciation for people who have more than one kid because we feel like we have the situation under control because we outnumber the youths. It's like two adults to one newborn. But as soon as that balance shifts, it would be like, oh man, this is quite difficult.
Yeah, totally. I remembered one thing that I forgot to say before. If you wanted to, you could go to my Twitter. So I'm streaming to YouTube and to Twitter, and if you wanted to retweet the Twitter one,
Yeah.
you could. The actual video. That'd be cool. I think that should be out. Yep, that's there. All right. So I think we should start with giving folks a little bit of context on you, who you are, what your day job is, and then your side project that we're hacking on today, and go from there. So hey, maybe if you could share your screen and then take it away.
Absolutely. Share screen. Oh my gosh, I have to do this silly system settings thing. Sorry, one second.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah, you might have to restart your browser. Yeah, we had a little bit of yeah. Anyways,
I will be right back in 15 seconds.
All right, great. Nice. Great comment from Jordan. Justin is great. I'll leave this up here until he gets back, so he can appreciate this wonderful comment. How y'all doing, chat? If you're watching, let me know where you're watching from, what country or state or city, and how you're doing. That'd be nice. Oh, hold on one sec. Justin's back.
Hello, Jordan. Thank you for calling me great. It's true, but it's always great to get the reinforcement. All right, now I can actually share my screen.
Lovely.
Share this window. Boom.
All right.
So my day job, which is still kind of like a weird phrase for me to deploy in my head. This is like a random nights and weekends thing that I've been hacking on, but it's true. I've been working on it full time for 2.5 years now. Is Button Down, which is a email marketing tool. If you're familiar with stuff like MailChimp or Constant Contact or Substack, like it's in a very similar space to those tools, but really more focused on folks who don't really care about like the e-commerce stuff for like the crazy automations. Like they just want to be able to send out emails really easily, interact with their subscribers, have a nice pleasant API to work with. It's much more technically inclined and minimalistic as opposed to like going after the folks who are like running Fortune 500 companies.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. I know there's a big overlap in the audience of people who use Button Down and use Val Town. Like the tools appeal to the same sorts of folks.
Exactly. I think the value prop in a weird way, there's quite a big Venn diagram, like you're saying, of the folks who get excited by being able to like do really lightweight webhooks and like run crons and all of those things without having to like do all this infrastructure and apparatus and scaffolding. Like those customers, I think, share both of those things in common.
Totally.
And one of the things that like is really interesting about the email space that we've discovered more and more over the past couple of years is like email is a very fungible platform. At the end of the day, if you're an author, there's really nothing stopping you at any point in time from exporting your archives and your emails and like bringing them to a new provider. Something like 75% of our users aren't like new to emails. They're coming from someone else. And one of the most common support requests that we get are sort of like in the genre of, hey, I'm coming from like Brevo or I'm coming from MailChimp. here's this stuff, like here's my existing web page with the existing form tag. Can you help me out? Like, can you do some of the like mapping of fields for me and all those sorts of things? And that's really great when people reach out. But we've realized what helps activation a lot is being able to like proactively detect if someone is coming from one of these
Mm,
providers and instantly send them that information. So if we know,
wow.
hey, this person just signed up, they're churning from MailChimp, let's send them the MailChimp tutorials and like activate them even quicker. So
Mm.
we built out a lot of sort of internal tools and detections over the past couple of years, and ultimately sort of like wrap that up into its own standalone tool called Shovel. And that's what we're going to be playing around with today.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Show me shovel.
Of course. So if we hop around here, so this is just shovel.report. It is dot report. I'm a sucker for the crazy Vandy TLDs.
If you
Um,
could make me your window a little wider and then zoom in a couple times, that'd be great for the folks watching at home.
Of course. So shovel.report basically tries to pull out as much information from a given domain or a given URL as it can. And to kick things off with like an example, we can actually look at its pull out for buttondown.com, where the first thing you see is like a bunch of DNS records, which is similar to like running dig in the command line or going to any of the DNS analyzer tools. But what it will do in addition to that is it'll detect things like subdomains. It'll look and see what services a given URL is using based on like the HTML, based on header keys and values returned, based on certain DNS records. So like here it knows we're using improv MX because we've got some of those MX records set. It knows we're using Next.js because it sees that in the response headers that we're sending back, we've got some like Next specific headers and so on and so forth. It can even pull out things like social media tags that are being referenced of.
Mm.
It Shovel knows that we've got like a threads account of @buttondown email because in our footer there's a link to that specific site. So it just tries to like cleverly pull out as much like structured information as it can. And one of the things that we found useful is doing this when new authors sign up. If they're coming from a custom domain, we'll check using Shovel to see if that site or that domain has, say, like, a MailChimp or some other tool that they're migrating from, because then we can personalize the content that we're sending them and it bumps up activation a lot. It makes it much easier for that author to figure out exactly what they need to do to get onto Buttondown.
Awesome. That's very cool. I don't know if you could share this, but it'd be interesting if you had like a specific customer that like had a specific record or something like, or you could just take someone as an alternative. I'd be curious to see like someone using a competitor of yours or someone using Button Down in Shovel.
Yes, totally. So if we were to look at, and the other part of this too that is quite nice is we can start to build up a backlink directory, so to speak, of for all of these technologies that we detect. We can then go and see cache-wise what other domains we've run into that are using one of these technologies, which if we really want to get into the super aggressive outbound stuff that is not quite my speed, becomes useful. And to get an example, like if we were to say, let's find all of the technologies that we've detected that are using like Mad Mimi, which is a very niche deprecated email marketing service. We've only ever seen one specific domain that is using Mad Mimi. But if you were to look at something a little bit more specific, like say MailChimp, you can see a huge swath of domains that we've crawled because folks have requested it that are using MailChimp. So let's say accordionslider.com signs up for Buttondown. We would be able to ping Shovel directly, be like, oh, they're using MailChimp. They've got some Google Analytics stuff. Like we can pull out those two migration doc and integration docs, send them to that immediately, not have to do a lot of the like, I'm sure you get, dozens of these emails when you sign up to SaaSes of like, where are you coming from? Like, what are you trying to use us for? That kind of thing. We can actually like make some smarter decisions or at least educated guesses about the given customer, about the given user, based on what we just know from their DNS records.
So cool. And so like for the MailChimp one, for example, are we looking at those the MailChimp DNS records?
So I think for this one specifically, it's actually a little bit smarter. It's not looking at the DNS records, it's looking at the HTML returned, because the way most email collection SaaSes work, including Button Down, is you have like a form snippet or a web component or an iframe tag that you're dropping into your page, right? That references some place where you can send a post request. And all of those really do get tied to a given service. So if we see that in the response we're getting back from accordionslider.com, it's referencing, https api.mailchimp.com, we know almost assuredly that like they're currently using MailChimp and they're migrating off of it. So it is not like deterministically perfect, but it means we can get some information that isn't just from the DNS records.
Nice. Very cool. Here we have a couple of friends joining saying hi, so I'll just say hi back. Hi, Tommaso and Mr. Sam Rose. I don't know if you know Sam, but he is great.
I'm chatting with Sam, I think, next week. I'm very excited. Also a very happy Button Down user, Sam Rose.
Awesome. Cool. So I think we got a good background on Button Down and Shovel. So what's your idea for what we're going to build today with Val Town, Townie, that kind of thing?
So all I've shown right now is the UI for Shovel, but all of this information, if you just add API to the paths, or sorry, API/domains, is also available via JSON. And we, within Button Down's codebase, have a bunch of like pretty gross duct taping around like hitting this endpoint. But it's actually, I think, pretty generalizable. I figured what we could start off by doing is create a val endpoint that if someone were to ping it with like a webhook containing an email or something like that, then we could try and detect and pull out some of this information and email it to me. So imagine you're running a startup, and every time someone signs up that has, say, like a Twitter account or a Blue Sky account, you get an email that says, hey, this person just signed up. Here's their social media information. Go at them or follow them or something along those lines. And then kind of like build out from there and see what might be fun or useful.
So a little clear bitty, and this is really for people who sign up with work email addresses. Like if it's a Gmail email address, Shovel that can't help us.
Exactly, and that's one of the drawbacks of kind of like trying to pull from the DNS side, is we don't have any like enrichment information that like a full contact or a Clearbit or a HubSpot might have. It's all just pulling from stuff that's publicly available. But especially if you're in the B2B space, like most of the folks signing up aren't necessarily going to be coming from an @Gmail or an @Yahoo. They'll be signing up from something that has a corporate domain attached.
Perfect. All right, great. Let's do it.
Awesome. I don't even have to sign up for Val because I'm using it for stuff already. I've got this is just a little extracurricular, but I've got like a Google Alerts for Blue Sky thing running.
Nice.
That's been running for a while and been quite useful. And it just sends me an email anytime someone mentions Button Down within Blue Sky, which has been very high traffic recently.
Do you have that for Twitter as well?
Sadly, I don't have it for Twitter.
I can help you set it up. It should be quick.
I think I have. There's like Twitter API limitations, right? Like I think I had it at one point.
I think I've solved those. If you want to.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So if you just do Command K and then type Twitter alert, one word. Amazing. Yeah, that one. And I think you should just be able to hit the fork button and then change the query, and it should just work. Famous last words. The line 4.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I guess you could probably just like borrow whatever query you have and oh yeah, you could do this. This is great.
Keep things simple.
Nice.
All right. I think that's the right level of escaping, right?
Yeah, I think you did it right. Let's see.
Oh, this is hitting like a Discord webhook.
So yeah. So yeah, just delete that and then you can just like do standard email, or you could just do console log for right now if you want. That's just the interval object. Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, great. So yeah, just run it again.
Yeah.
I guess. I think I have a like a test, like line 8 is for testing. So if you like uncomment line 8, it'll
Okay.
like give you the results from like the last day or two.
Oh, perfect. Got it.
And then you have to comment. Yeah. Anyway, this is a very big distraction, but I'm excited to show this off.
Amazing.
Cool. Yeah. So I guess click on one of them. Let's see if it mentions button down.
Boom.
Nice.
Buttondown.com.
Cool.
Nice. Cool.
So yeah, you could do whatever you're doing with the Blue Sky one. You could send it wherever you want to go.
Awesome. I'm gonna jot this down to make sure I get it done later.
Cool. It's that Twitter alert one I'm very proud of. It's it uses this like I found this other service that has good Twitter API data. It's like a Twitter API scraper, and I built a proxy on top of it that gives Val Town Pro users, which you are one of, thank you. And so Val Town Pro users get like $1 a day, or I don't know, or maybe like 10 cents a day, so like some small amount per day of that API. So Amazing. It's just enough to let this query run a couple times an hour.
Social data, that's smart. Awesome. Yeah. Let's jump into it. Let's create a new.
All right, let's see.
What is the term I'm looking for? Is it a val still? Like
yes, it's still. Yeah, that's what we call it. Yeah.
Awesome. New. So we'll start off with a script, or should I?
Yeah, or you could start out right. These days, I start off with Towny, but if you want to start with a script, that works great too.
I am very excited to play with Towny. Awesome. So and this is where you being like the JavaScript master compared to me is going to come in handy, because I feel like every time I want to do the most basic thing in the world, like literally just format fetch correctly with all the right arguments, it somehow takes me like 25 minutes. So I'm going to be leaning on you here. But this API right now like doesn't require any auth or anything, so hopefully it is pretty trivial.
Yes.
So if we think about what we want the rough shape of this val to look like, I feel like the contract to start out would just be it gets an email address and returns any like technology or social media associated with that. And like we can then, once we have that working pretty well, we can bolt on the email side, we can bolt on the webhook side. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Awesome. So if we say like function detect technologies string, right? See, this is TypeScript syntax I don't even like remember how to do without the auspices of like Cursor these days.
Yeah.
It is string, right?
Yeah, it's string. I don't know why. No, you're good.
And so we want to say like rough URL is that. And first thing we want to do, because you sort of called out the Gmail use case, I think for the purposes of this, we can be like super naive. And before we even try and do a request, like have a deny list of some domains that we like know are just not going to be relevant at all. In my head, the big three are always like Gmail, Apple, and Yahoo. And if we just do like a little deny list here of.
Yeah. You know, I'm realizing like now I want it to be like a complete solution where, because like what I do when I see a Gmail is I just like take the username, or I just take the whole Gmail address and search Google for it and see like if I get lucky, and like they use that handle in other places. and all the time you get like, I don't know, 50%, 40% of the time you get lucky. I
feel like that would be a good like fallback thing to add here if it is within one of these, because that's exactly. I'm not sure if you've poked around like SERP API data at all.
Yes, that's what I was going to talk about.
We've got a perfect segue for part 2 then. This is excellent. So we'll do this for now.
For anyone who doesn't know SERP API, SERP, it's a like Google scraping company, so it lets you like do Google searches programmatically, but it's a paid service. So I'm happy either way. These days, most people, including me, don't write code like this. We just talk to Towny, and Towny writes all the code.
Ooh, let's do that then. Show me the newfangled ways of the future.
Okay, great. So maybe just save this and
Yeah.
then hit the edit with Townie button over there. Oh, actually, maybe before we do. Oh, actually, so I would probably just go ahead and change this to an HTTP val.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Over. Damn, it's
Do
weird
I
that it doesn't let me
go
do it
back to
there.
the?
Yeah, maybe go back to the val and then change it and then come
Okay.
back. Yeah, there are like a lot of different places. We so if you click the words, yeah, click that and then
Oh, that's a
HTTP,
nice little.
and then if you click private, you could change that to unlisted or yeah, that's fine. And then go back to edit with Townie.
Boom.
Nice. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Townie will fix this
Okay.
up. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
if you
should
just
I?
explain the whole project, it'll probably do
Yeah.
most of it.
Awesome. So let's say like uh, finish implementing a function that, given an email address, make sure, let's say, checks to see if it's a non-common Gmail, etc.
You could tell it to like add extra in there, you know.
Okay. And if it is, fetch, say that with the right domain and return all of the relevant technologies. I feel like I should give it the services key to start off.
Yes. Of the JSON, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm just going to hit
You can tell
enter
it's
and see what
JSON.
it does.
Oh, that's probably enough. It'll probably assume it's JSON.
Let's go. Look at that. Amazing. Okay, so
yeah,
please go ahead.
I would just say like how, if we could scroll up a little bit and it might explain how it wants the email address, or we could read the code. It might be my guess would be like query param of some sort.
Yeah,
you could ask it to give you a HTML page that submits a form.
Can you
on get slash?
Sorry, it gets like that. You mean?
Yeah.
So at this point, what Townie is building is like it's a standalone technical React app that is being deployed to this endpoint.
Yeah. And so on get slash, it'll do HTML, and then hopefully it'll still leave open the like the back end. Yeah. So if it's like on an API
awesome.
path, yeah, it'll be fine.
Sick. Okay, let's try this with. We can use your domain. It's just stevekraus.com, right?
Yeah, or val.town.
Oh, val.town, even better.
Yeah, you can use Steve at val.town. Yeah, for sure. That's great. Yeah.
Look at that.
That Amazing. Is awesome.
Does all that look right? You've got a Twitter account. You're using Tailwind somewhere. You're using GWT. You've got DMARC, which, as an email guy, I'm always happy to see.
Yes. All these things are technologies we use. There are like a lot more technologies.
For sure.
Obviously. Yeah, great list. Good work.
Let's go back to the original one we were looking at and see if it can pull these guys as well. Simple. Now let's try and get it to. I think it's just returning the services, but we also have like the social media stuff here. It looks like this site doesn't have any social media, but if we go to like Val Town, I'm guessing you guys do. Yeah, so it pulls out here the
actual handle. That's great.
Yeah, the actual handle for Twitter and YouTube. So let's ask Townie to like also return this stuff, right?
Yeah. Maybe just give it copy and paste the whole shape so it knows that it's.
Here's the entire shape returned by shuttle. So return the social media in addition to the services.
Probably take a minute to rewrite the whole code. Okay, so what are the next steps that you wanted to do after this? Email yourself?
So yeah, I think emailing yourself, and also maybe because we have the nice little form UI that we've built, we could change it from just being a single email address to like a list of email addresses, and it can sort of
Hmm.
like tabulate the results of them all. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Sounds great.
So let's try this again with hi Val Town. Look at that,
That's
beautiful.
great. Yeah.
It's really cool. Um, So if we want to start with like the email side, or which do you find more interesting? I feel like I've been
No, no,
relentlessly sort of pushing. Do you have a preference between the two?
no preference. They're
Okay,
both sound great.
let's do the email side first, so we can show off some of the fun Val stuff. Because I also think like one of the things that we were just talking about it with the Blue Sky and Twitter bit. One of the things that I find most useful about Val is like it's really good at crossing the chasm into like now there are moving parts of like well, standing up like a cron runner or something that can actually send SMTP. Like that is often the really annoying part in toy projects like this. So like being able to show that off, I think, is quite useful.
Nice.
So let's say maybe ask Tony to expose a new endpoint that if we post at it, it'll spit out an email. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. It might already have an endpoint that's pretty similar to the one you
Okay.
want. Uh, like if
Yeah, I
API,
see a slash API.
yeah. So like in theory, we could just add it in right there.
Mhm.
Um, I think, yeah. So the quickest way to do it would be, yeah, to ask Townie to just add it onto the slash API, or
Mhm.
you can make a new route. But either way, I think this is a good time for us to try asking Townie to reply in diff, so it doesn't regenerate the
Ooh.
whole code.
Okay.
It's a lot faster, but error prone because you're asking an
Mhm.
LM to like write a unified diff and like count line numbers and whatnot.
Awesome. So, and that's just like a thing I say at the end of the prompt, like do all of this stuff, reply in diff.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
So when I submit the form, also send an email containing this information to say Justin at buttondown.email.
Or maybe say like when I hit slash API,
Hmm.
might make it because when I submit the form, might confuse it into trying to do it on the front end.
Got it. Got it. Reply in diff. It's fun to see the little breakdown of like the changes required, and then it's like uh, doing the constituent work.
Yeah. See, I think it. I hope not, but it. Yeah. Let's see. All
That
right.
looks that looks correct.
Okay. Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So do I need to then like manually apply this diff, or is it smart enough to put it within the code side?
Oh, it's already. Yeah, it's deployed already.
Okay. Awesome. So let me try doing this now. Steve at stevekraus.com. I don't know if that is your actual email address.
No,
Let
it
this be
isn't.
clear.
It should be.
I'm not secretly doxing
If
you.
if you go to requests, let's just see if there's any errors in the top,
Okay.
bottom right. There's a
Oh, awesome.
get slash. Yeah, that one. Yeah, click on that. It doesn't look like there are any errors. So presumably the email was sent. If you want, I would recommend open up your email in another browser
Yeah.
window, pop open the email, like go to the email and like pop it open in its own window. There you go. You got it. You're a pro.
Yep. Look at that. That's pretty cool for like 4 seconds of manual labor and probably a couple minutes of robotic labor. We just get the full results within the email. And like imagine a world where like the dopamine rush of like every time you get a little new Stripe payment or new Stripe customer notification, like this comes right alongside
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like
Well,
here's this new customer, here's where they signed up from, here's all the social media data and like all of the other stuff you need to know about them as well.
yeah. Amazing. Here, actually, you're reminding me here. I'm going to post one comment to this video so people can see that
Mhm.
Twitter alert thing that I made before. Oh, you know what? I should link to Button Down and also Shovel so people have that. And then I also want to link to, we already have something like this. You won't be surprised to hear that we have something like this internally already.
Amazing.
And the code is open source, so we can, here, I'll get it for you 1 second. Shovel. Okay. All right. All right. Let me just catch up quickly on the chat. Sam Rose, I think this was for the Twitter alert thing when we were doing that. He was like, he was forking it right away, which is awesome. And then Peter says hi, which is awesome. Hi,
hey, Peter.
All right. So let me find, I think it's new user. I'm trying to find our existing new user thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Where is it? References. New user. So it's kind of funny, like finding things like this. Val Town, like I have to remember the
Val
name.
itself.
Yeah, like what is it? I think it was related to Clerk, like a Clerk thing. I think that's where I'm getting the webhook from. Sorry, give me 1 more second, and then
one of the things, not to distract you, that would be fascinating to read about if you haven't written about it already is like how much of Val is like built on Val, like what the dog fooding operation looks like. Because I feel like that would just be so fun and so fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I really into that dog fooding operation. I think Edwin agrees.
Yes. While you're doing that, I'm just gonna change this. Oh, you got it. Sick.
Here, I'll put it in the comments so everyone can see it. And then for you, if you open, if you like do Command K and search for the phrase handle Discord new user is the name, the terrible name of the Val.
It's a great name.
Okay, you got it. Yeah, there's no read. Like this Val was made a long time ago. There's no README. Okay. It just grabs. So it accepts webhook from Clerk the way it does authorization. So like nobody can call this in spam our Discord because like I added a secret token in Clerk and I added it to my environment variables and I just make sure that that's there. And then I just grab the data and then post it right to we have like a special private channel in our Discord that I post it to. But if you wanted, I think it'd be quite fun to just show like the function you just wrote, just import it here and add it.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I don't quite have like the permission model worked out in my head. Can I like fork your existing Val, like this thing that's in production, change things, and then like do the equivalent of like a pull request? Like how would it know to start pulling from like my modified version?
Let's do it right now. So yes, let's start with the fork button.
Okay.
And then
now I go back here, right, to get the.
There are like a bunch of different ways we could do this. I guess start by renaming it.
Email address information. That's not a great name either, but we'll take what we can get.
So you could export some functions from that Val and then import them over here, or we could just copy and paste them.
Okay.
For this, given how like simple it is, maybe I would just copy and paste.
Yeah.
Because like I do need my thing to be like pretty reliable, and I don't want you to feel like you can't like change this. So maybe go to like the /API route towards the bottom of your Val. I think that's probably where all the good stuff is.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's a function. Yeah, great. It's that function. Like because you gave it that scaffolding.
Where did actually? There we go. Perfect. Okay, so this right here, copy paste this, and it's hitting fetch.
I think you might need like that type a little bit above it, and maybe the known irrelevant domains too.
Perfect. Cool. So go over here.
Well, so I guess the real Val Town way to do it is to make a script Val and then shove those things in there and then import it in both places. But for now, I think we'll just do copy and paste, and we can refactor later.
Okay, so script is like your equivalent of a module, like that's sort of the more library-ish.
Exactly. Yeah, file. Yeah, maybe module's not a bad idea. We could rename it to that.
Excuse me. Okay, so copy and pasted in. We
Cool.
have this, and then we could say something like, I'm going to again be old school here and not ask Tony to do this. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm
right.
driving stick shift or something right now. So email address is going to be this, right?
Yep, you got it.
Forgot the character. There we go.
Okay.
And then we can say like technologies.
I love this.
This is fun. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm really helping out.
You really are.
And so content is just like an arbitrary blob. I guess I
Yeah.
can look right here because this just exposes this URL and content, and I can say something like, gosh, is it that? Dot join? No, that's Python. This is again my
No, no,
brain.
that it. So it's just a string right now. So
Mhm.
it's not an array. So you can
Oh,
just.
it's. Oh, sorry. I meant in terms of interpolating the list of technologies. So this needs to be that way.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally, totally, totally.
So that is. Oh, this is a blob. So we would say we could say something just like JSON.stringify technologies, right?
Sure.
It's not very pretty, but
Yeah, it's a great place to start. Yeah, I don't know why. Oh,
just because
you don't have that key, which is fine.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. Yeah, that's fine.
So it'll let me save even if there are type errors.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, save,
Nice.
and then pull request. There we go.
There we
I do
go.
have a CSS bug to report. Look at that overflow. Who amongst us has not dealt with overflow on a CSS tooltip?
I love it. I was trying to take a screenshot, but I missed it. I'll get it later.
This is I like this cute little arrow. And detected.
Beautiful. Now, I have a request from chat. I don't know if anyone will do this in time. I'll give folks like 2 minutes. Yeah, so hit the pull request and then I'll merge it in. If anyone
Boom.
watching this who doesn't yet have a Val Town account, or you do but you have a second email address, wait 1 second, and then let me get.
But we got to make sure the email address is not from Gmail, Yahoo, or Hotmail.
Exactly.
Those offers
and
do
then,
not apply.
So I merged in the pull request. So now, someone please sign up for Val Town. That like you're okay with me taking a screenshot and including it of it, you know. So don't do anything private. Let me see. Okay, so nobody's done it yet, but I guess maybe I should go do it right now. And if someone from the audience does it as well, then that's a bonus. But I'm gonna go sign up for Val Town with a silly email address. I'll do yeah.
I think I've got my personal email that I should be able to do with. I don't think I've signed up with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go for it. If you're already there. Oh no. Yeah, you just have to log out of Val Town. Here, I got it. Steve. I'll do Steve. Test.
I think I'm going to beat you to it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Maybe. All right. I just signed up.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. I got the webhook, but I didn't get any of the additional stuff, which makes me wonder if I didn't find like this isn't the right Val.
Is there anything you have to do of like deploying a new version after merging the pull request?
No. We do that. Let me log into Val Town and see. Because
I love this merge UI. This is like much more pleasant and readable than GitHub's.
Wow,
it's fast. I mean, this is a rabbit hole, but it's fascinating to me how like the GitHub pull request UI like has not changed at all in like 8 years, and is like probably the single biggest like code review surface in human history. And we were just like, yeah, it's fine. No need to.
It's perfect. Yeah. Where is? Yeah, it's driving me a little crazy that I'm not sure if I'm even in the right Val. Here, I'm just gonna, for my sanity, I'm just gonna add preview. I'm just gonna add like a console.log. Okay, great. Let's see, dependencies. Oh,
Did we find it?
no. Oh, you know what? Here, I should share my screen for a second so folks kind of know what's going on, or at least it's more interesting than what than yeah, just hearing me talk about it. Okay, so what I was doing, so I'm in my Val, and I was looking at requests. Most of the requests are 401s of us just like viewing.
Hitting it via get. Yeah.
Yeah, like when you review this page, this is like the 401, so these are kind of stupid. But are we actually getting it? Are we actually getting anywhere here? So I added this console.log. That's the first thing I did. And the second thing is it's going to our Discord user events channel, which is great. So one thing I could do is just like I think there's only one Val that should be using that, so I can just search for it. Look, oh, maybe it's this one. Yeah,
Ooh.
I got the wrong one. I gave you an old one. This is like the actual correct one. Yeah. So let me, given that I'm already kind of here, I can
go for it.
I can just copy and paste the code. We got the pull request workflow working, but for the wrong. Very sad. Okay, so that's most of it. And then
I think this is like, broadly speaking, one, and maybe Val has this and I just haven't stumbled across it yet, but like seeing some sort of like dashboard that is less about like reading the vowels themselves and more like the activity on your vowels. So you could be like, what are the things that have been hit in the past like day or hour or whatever? I feel like that would be a useful lens.
Yeah, I totally agree. I could show you what we have. It's definitely part of that. Is it? No, this is still the wrong one. I should like maybe.
It was handle new user email, I believe.
Yeah. Handle new user email. No, it was something similar to that. Yeah, it's an interesting discovery problem. Okay, new user.
Oh, so close.
Cover changes. Okay, yeah. So this is restore changes. Then go to the code editor. Okay, cool. Now I can do the thing you were doing, which was great. Const email address equals address.
Oh, look at that autocomplete.
That looks
beautiful.
Right. Thank you. Oh, okay. I'm using it twice. It should have already been a variable. Great. And then I want to put this here. So, okay, const technologies const email info is this. And then can you guys still see here? I'll zoom in a little bit. And then you did JSON.stringify email info. Awesome. Oh, okay. So here's this is actually going to show Val Town off in a good light. Unlike having to watch me find it, which I thought was kind of embarrassing. Here, let me close this. All right, so I saved it. It should be good, but like you already did that annoying thing of like signing up for Val Town with a new account. We don't want to make you have to do it again.
You can replay it.
Let's replay that request. And why don't we also console.log email addresses? Because I'm not like sure that this one was that one, but we'll know in the future. All right, so I'll hit the replay button. And here, let me hit refresh logs. Maybe it'll come through. Okay. Oh, it wasn't you. It was someone else.
I think Sam in the chat was trying to sign up. He did
nice.
ask what he was doing, which is something I ask myself 20 to 30 times a day.
Okay. Let me try replaying this one. Did it? Yeah, our request. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, yikes! I don't want to be showing customer data. Um,
It was a Gmail one. We don't even care about it.
yeah, exactly. I think yeah, one of these. Oh, hold on. I can get it from the timestamp. Oh, yeah. Two people signed up at 2:42. I think the second one that I replayed should be you. These are annoying. They're like kind of in the way. But anyways, this first one at 2:42 should be you. Oh, and then I'll just do refresh logs. This is a weird bug. I'm not seeing it come in. Maybe there's an error that's happening that's preventing it.
I think we're logging errors and like just returning an empty object um, in detect technologies.
Oh, interesting.
Where would the logs in this view be showing up for Val? Would we see that under logs?
Yeah, right here. Okay. Here, let me do like console.log. Oh, yeah, I can go to here, logs. Okay, yeah, these are like the new users. But it's weird that retrying your post request, it's weird to me that this isn't working.
Yeah.
Like this replay button should work.
Is it a client side issue, do you think?
Like just like a bug in our client side stuff. Yeah, it could be. It was weird.
Just because
this one worked.
There's the four things right.
Yeah, I'll hit this replay button again. I'm not necessarily getting that one replaying. Oh yeah. All right. I don't know why the replay isn't working. I guess I'll just have to debug that later. In terms of,
I gave you a fun edge case and a UI bug to look into.
Yeah, great.
Two for the price of one.
Oh, here I can just I'll inspect it and see if there's something related to it. 2:42. The first one is you. Network. Yeah, maybe nothing's happening.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing a new request come in.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a bug. Oh, you know what? One last thing I could try is maybe that doesn't work on the editor view, but it'll work here for some weird reason. See older evaluations. 2:42, the first one. Oh, there's no replay button here. Okay, I think we're officially blocked from replaying that request. But what was I going to do? Here, why don't I just sign up to Val Town myself, and we'll just do it one last time. So I'll sign up with like Steve Test at Val.town or Steve Test 14, just because I want to make sure it's an email address I've never used before. Great. Here's my sign up link. Okay, close that tab. Cool. Wait.
There was like a warning.
Oh yeah,
icon that showed up. It might be like clerk trying to.
Cool. Steve Test 14. Great. Cool. This is just signing up for Val Town, which I
love that first try experience. That's nice.
Thank you. Okay, it worked. Let me show you guys what it looks like. So remember, I signed up with a Val Town email address. So that is why it shows the services that Val Town uses. So like now our whole team can see when people sign up from a business account, these are the services that business uses. And their social media. I think maybe we won't do this now. But like I definitely want to clean this up and make all these things links.
For sure.
These ones. Yeah.
So the one thing that is like, if I could wave a magic wand and get, and the social data thing you pointed to me might have this, is like follower count information or like social media metadata of like not
Mm.
only is their Twitter account at Val Town, but at Val Town has like 8,000 followers, and therefore it should go into the like concierge queue as opposed to like the low priority self-serve queue. Like that's the next logical leap of just getting to imbue a little bit more information each time.
I love it. We're pivoting. We're starting a new company, a new Clearbit competitor. This is great.
Shoval, SHOAVAL. Just combine the two. It's perfect.
Let's do it. Okay, so let me. So I feel like I should catch up with the chat for a second, and then we can wrap up and maybe do one final thing.
Awesome.
I think I need like I want to send the chat the actual correct val that I've been editing. Log out. Do we remember what it was?
Oh gosh, new user welcome email. I feel like that was.
Yeah.
There was no handle. I remember that much.
New user welcome email. Yeah, I got it. I think. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let me put this in the chat. So if anyone wants to fork it or improve it, or it's very confusing, so folks can help me make a better README or whatever, or like add that other stuff, other formatting stuff, that'd be really cool. Other chat things. Sam wanted to know what he's doing. I think maybe he's trying to be helpful and sign up for Val Town. Thanks, Sam. Tomaso asked for shortcuts for the code editor, which maybe I'll have to talk about some other time. Justin, what would you like to do for the last like 5 or so minutes? Do you have any other final ideas or thoughts?
So I think that the one last little fun thing, just to end on a towny shaped note, is expand it from a single text input, like the little form we had of like, here's an email, have it be a text area. So you could throw in like 3 or 4 and say like, here's all the Twitter handles that we got, or here's all of the, insert technology here that we got. How does that sound?
Cool. That sounds great. And then you could also throw in there, ask County to link those up to Twitter and YouTube and whatnot.
Oh yeah. Let's do that one first. I feel like that makes more sense as like the next logical increment, and then we'll do the text area.
I would just do it all in one, because you have to pay for regenerating the whole thing anyways, unless you want to do the diff thing.
Okay. Let's do it both at once. Okay. Let's do 2 changes.
Yeah. I often do. Yeah. That's how I do it.
Turn the social media URLs into links.
So I can click on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to tell it to do target blank or whatever, or say in a new tab. Awesome.
Nice. It's very satisfying to just watch the auto typer like spit out all the code so quickly, though it does make me feel inadequate as a human.
As a human or as a programmer?
Oh, yeah. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. But we can see the little case statement where it's generating the URL, which is really nice.
You mentioning that we should have like a page on our website that's just called like val.town/dogfooding, where we explain all the ways we use Val Town for Val Town. This is the second time today that you've given me an idea to improve the Val Town website. I went to maybe while we're waiting for this. Oh, it's done. I was gonna brag on Button Down like use cases page. I thought you did a really great job with that.
Oh, awesome! Thank you. Okay, so let's try just with a simple one too. We do that and stevekrause.com. Oh, misspelled. Here we go. Let's see how this works.
Boom. Nice. Boom. Nice.
That is like really satisfying. Sadly, this is a bug on our end because there's like youtube.com. They have get params where it's like youtube.com/watch like a question mark, and then it's the UID of the thing. But
Do you
3 out of 4 is not bad.
how far deep do you go? Like when you pull it, like do you just do that index page, or do you like crawl and get a bunch more stuff?
So right now we excuse me, just do the index page and any linked subdomain pages, because often there's like a whole lot of interesting stuff there of like if docs.val.town is like running on Mintlify, it's going to have a bunch more information that is usually net new, and we can pull that in. I think it would be really fun to like turn it into like sort of have a crawler mode, to your exact point. But right now, just the way Shovel works is it's all synchronous. Like it's all happening in the band of an HTTP request. Like it checks
No cache.
DNS and SSL and a bunch of stuff.
No database.
It is cached, but like the cache is being populated after the HTTP response. There's no like cron on the back end that's pulling all the stuff. And so if we wanted to start crawling things, then we need to like have it be async of like, okay, someone went to, versell.com after this request fires, then start to do all of this stuff, not just persisting it, but like checking everything in the sitemap, checking everything that's in like the SSL registrar and things along those lines. It'll definitely happen in the fullness of time, but right now, like the HTTP shaped contract is very, very simple.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and now I feel like there should be like an agent, an AI agent that's like reading the HTML and like getting an idea about your website and like coming up with ideas for like how to crawl or how to search. I feel like an AI agent version of, I guess, Clearbit would be like an interesting company to work on.
Oh,
for anyone in the audience who is looking for startup ideas, there you go.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you very much. This was very fun.
This was my pleasure. You're going to see me in the logs in like a couple hours, just pulling through more stuff and like getting this production ready so we can actually start using it. One of the nice things about like these shapes of tools is we've got a lot of like customer support agents and writers who aren't engineers per se, but like we can give them a URL and say like, use this to solve whatever you're trying to do. It's there's tools like Retool that kind of like work from the database and go outward into like these no code interfaces. But often what we need is kind of the inverse, which is like, let's duct tape some stuff together and expose that, as opposed to like, you need to hit this data. And I think Val is really, really good for those use cases.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you for having me. This was a blast.
Yeah, this was great. Sweet. I guess if people want to follow you, Twitter is probably a good spot.
I am JM Duke everywhere. You can follow me on Twitter, on Blue Sky. My personal site is jmduke.com. If you are sending emails, buttondown.com is the nicest and most pleasant way you can send those emails. And I think that's all the shilling I have in me for a given day. I can drop my brand twice and that's it.
I love it. Awesome. Thanks. Well, I'm going to hit the end stream button, but yeah, you can stick around and we can chat for a bit afterwards. Thanks everyone for joining. See ya.
Thank you.